Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome and thank you for attending Rogue's 60th annual meeting. Yeah, 60 years. I'm Judy Pickens, the Chief Operations Officer here at Rogue Credit Union. And I would like to share with you guys just a few things that we've had going on over the past couple of years that you've helped us to accomplish. For 60 years, Rogue has been focused on living, giving, and supporting local across Southern Oregon. And in 2016, we gave back over $227,000 to local nonprofits in the form of donations and sponsorships. And our staff, several of which are here this evening, gave back over 11,500 hours in volunteer hours across local communities. Yes, that's a lot of hours. Thank you. And a big part of that, what I wanted to share, was what you helped us to accomplish. Last year with Credit Union for Kids, you helped us to raise over $50,000 for local Children's Miracle Network hospitals. And those two hospitals, those funds stayed right here in Southern Oregon at Rogue Regional Medical Center in Medford and Mercy West Medical Center in Roseburg. And as a part of the fundraising for that, you guys helped us raise funds through the annual Skip a Payment campaign, the Change a Child's Life coin drive, and the Miracle Jeans Days in the branches. And it's amazing how those funds, $1 here, 25 cents there in the coins jar, those add up to big funds and $50,000 that stayed right here in the local communities for children. And those funds are used to purchase life-saving vital equipment in the neonatal intensive care units and the pediatric units. And those serve Southern Oregon and Northern California. So it's amazing what can happen when we join together. So please give yourself a round of applause. Now I'd like to take a moment to introduce the folks you see before you up here, our board of directors. Our board of directors invest countless hours to ensure the strength and stability of your credit union. And please help me in joining this evening, Board Chair Jerry Hauk, Vice Chair Lynn Calhoun, not with us this evening, but Secretary Mark Collins, Treasurer Philip Smith, and board members Tim George, Liz Shelby, and Cheryl McMahon. And we're also joined this evening by our supervisory committee. And with us this evening are Chair Jeff Lever, Steve Curry is not present, but we have Cheryl McMahon, Heather Johnson right here, and Jenny Group A not present as well. And now, without further ado, I want to welcome to the podium our President and CEO, Gene Pelham.
You have to work that out, right? Okay. Good evening, everybody. How are you doing? Great. Good. Thank you. That's actually a pretty good response for the first meeting. Well, I'm actually on a timeline tonight, so I have to be good. But I'd like to welcome all of you to our 60th annual meeting. You think about January of 1957, a small but dedicated group of 15 members gathered in room 216 at Medford Senior High School. Any of you ever been in room 216 at Medford Senior High School? Yeah, Vern has, Jeff has? Okay. So gathered there in 1957 to hold the credit union's first annual meeting. With a whopping $529.75 in total deposits, the new credit union accepted its first loan application of $200 right after the annual meeting. And nobody knows I'm going to say this, but I'm sure we have folks here that can help you with a loan after today's annual meeting, just so we keep that tradition going. So today the group has grown into an organ, and we even can probably get a boat, Tim. Raylene's still here, right? Raylene, are you still here? Yeah, it's all taken care of. Serving over 110,000 members throughout Southern Oregon. While we may have outgrown room 216 at Medford Senior High School, we've not outgrown the values and the traditions instilled by our first leaders at the credit union. People helping people and taking care of our members continues to be at the forefront of everything we do and every decision that we make. As I look around the room, I want to extend my gratitude to each and every one of you in attendance this evening. Our members, our friends, and our staff. Your active participation and engagement in your credit union is what drives us each and every day. I'd also like to take a moment to recognize those special guests that we have with us tonight. First of all, we have to give thanks to those leaders that were stepped in front of us and stood out and helped the credit union grow from just a few $1 million to what it is today. The leader that actually worked in the garage at the credit union when we had offices in the garage. So please help me recognize Vern Arnold. Vern, would you mind standing, please? And Vern's lovely wife, Marty, has joined him this evening, too. So the gentleman that took 18 years to figure out I was the right guy to work for him at this credit union. I give him a hard time about this every time. I applied for a job here in 1985. It took Tim till 2003 to realize he made a mistake in 1985. But Tim Alford hired me, and I owe my job and my career to Tim, and so please recognize Tim Alford. Yeah. Tim's lovely wife, Carol, has joined him also. And one of the things, thinking about, I'm only the fourth leader in the 60-year history of this credit union. And so it did. Tim was not going to turn this credit union over to any Yahoo. He wanted to make sure that he knew exactly what he was getting. And so he watched my career. And fortunately, I did a good enough job to make him give me that call in 2003. Also like to welcome Peter Angstadt, retired Road Community College president. So Peter's here. Bob Strasser, current Jackson County Commissioner. Bob's in the back there. And Caitlin, I should know your last name, but Caitlin from Congressman Walden's office. So Caitlin's in the back. And then we also have a special guest that will be joining our supervisory committee here in a month or so, and that's Neil Litzen, the CFO at the Grange Co-op. So I also want to recognize the dedicated staff that are in attendance this evening. So if all staff members could please stand up. There we go. So take that and times 20 or 40 or something like that, a lot, because now over 400 staff members serve the members at Road Credit Union, all right here in Southern Oregon. Folks that, as others left or were acquired by outside institutions, we were able to hire great talent and keep those folks right here in Southern Oregon working and contributing and being part of our community. Finally, I'd like to recognize our unofficial employees. I always say is our unpaid employees, because they work all the time and they just get the benefits of being married to us or stuck with us in one way or another. So I'd like to recognize the spouses and significant others here this evening, including my lovely wife, Tina, right here in the front. So please, let's give those that help support us a round of applause. Okay, the reason I have to stay on time tonight, a special note, is that we have two meetings tonight. We have a city council meeting in Ashland that we need to go to fight for a second branch in Ashland. And how unkind of them to schedule their city council meeting on our annual meeting. And for some reason, they didn't say that our meeting was important enough to change their meeting. So anyway, we will be rushing out. And so we want to make sure that you know that we have two events. We're going to celebrate and share the state of your credit union, and then we're going to rush off to the Ashland City Council meeting to fight for the future of the credit union. How many of you have been to the Ashland branch? Okay. So how many of you got hit in the parking lot in your car in the Ashland branch? We thought about an insurance company only just to serve those members trying to park in the parking lot at our Ashland branch as we go forward. We serve over 12,000 members at our Ashland branch with over $165 million in deposits. That branch by itself is larger than over 3,000 credit unions across the country. That one little branch, those 4 little tiny teller windows, the 2 little offices, and the 8-space parking lot has done that. So we have, this is what's amazing, we have more deposits in the Ashland branch than any other financial institution in Ashland. Over 22% of the deposits are deposited at Rogue Credit Union in Ashland. It's pretty amazing. So if you've done business there, you know the branch is extremely busy, and you've probably been frustrated trying to find a parking spot. We've purchased property on Ashland Street, which if you understand how Ashland works, there are only special places you can use the drive-up permit we have. And so that's the space. That's the only space available. We're going to do a full-service location with the drive-up, but we've been faced with obstacles, including the recent denial by the Planning Commission of our application. So tonight, if you want to join us, you can come to Ashland to the City Council meeting and watch us fight for Rogue Credit Union with the City Council. We are holding good faith that the City Council will see why Ashland needs another Rogue Credit Union. So we ask your understanding as we say to a tight schedule, which they're probably back. Kelsey's got a card that she'll be showing me before long. So yeah, I'm already overtime. Okay, so let's do this. I personally apologize, and I'll not be able to stay and answer your questions this evening, but we'll have members of our leadership team and select board members available. So with those folks that are going to stay to answer your questions, please raise your hand. So, okay. So they'll be here to answer all your questions. And if you wanted to talk to me, you can reach me at askgene@roguecu.org or 541-622-7110. If you really want to talk to me, and while I'm sitting there during that long city council meeting, you can even text me, and I'll probably text you back at 541-210-3861. So text me. We'll have something to do while I'm sitting in that meeting tonight. So thank you in advance for your understanding and support. Without further ado, I'd like to welcome Rogue Credit Union's Board Chair, Jerry Houck, to open the business meeting.
And I can say that I live in Ashland, and when we were starting the plans, I knew it was going to be a challenge. And so, but we knew it. We worked very hard with the city planners to try to make it work, and we're very positive tonight, and we hope that it does go forward. As board chair, I'd like to call this meeting to order and declare Peggy Blair as recording secretary. I'd like to thank Peggy for all the support she's given to the staff, to the board members, and to all of you members as you've called in and had some concerns. As I look around here tonight, we took a little pool this afternoon. We were rehearsing yesterday, and I think we actually have more non-staff members than we actually have staff members here tonight. So that's nice to see that. And that's what we like about Rogue, is the fact that your members are involved, and that's what we're all about. We're about working with you and helping you and making things the way it should be. If there are no objections, I'd like to have them reading the last minutes approved and as submitted, and no discussion on it. Any question with that? If not, then we'll continue with the meeting. We'll continue the meeting, but just briefly before we get going again, I would like to thank you as members for taking the time to be here, being as supportive as you are, because last year Rogue had a tremendous year, and it's only because of our members. Gene?
And you thought you were done with me. No. So I'll work through this fairly quickly. Tonight we're celebrating 60 years, pretty special time at the credit union, and I want to take the time to reflect back on the credit union's rich history of service to its members and the community. As many of you know, your credit union began as a teacher's credit union just a few miles away in the Jefferson Elementary cafeteria. And looking at some of the pictures there, it's amazing that a billion-dollar financial institution got its start in a grade school cafeteria. In the early years, the credit union operated first out of Jim and Harriet Johnston's living room, and then moving to serve members out of their garage. And I keep saying garage is a very generous description of that because it was a glorified storage shed. But today, Rogue Credit Union now is a $1.2 billion financial institution serving over 110,000 members across Southern Oregon. While we may be a long ways from the Johnston's garage, we remain committed to ensuring that the legacy and dedication to service and to our members is at the heart of everything we do. I'm honored to serve as your CEO and follow in the footsteps of great leaders. My predecessors, Jim Johnston, Vern Arnold, Tim Alford, were each the right leader at the right time in the history of your credit union. The success that Rogue Credit Union is experiencing is due to the strong and solid foundation that was built by the selfless dedication and commitment of many before us. Please help me acknowledge Vern and Tim for their years of dedicated service to the members of Rogue Credit Union. I was trying to think of a better descriptor here, but 2016 was a wonderfully successful year for the credit union. And I want to acknowledge those who work tirelessly each and every day in taking care of you, our loyal members, the dedicated staff of Rogue Credit Union. In 2016, Rogue Credit Union was recognized as the #1 financial institution by the Mail Tribune's Reader's Choice Award. Now that's great, but it was for the 8th year in a row. That is awesome. And many of you know that we purchased and assumed Chetco Credit Union at the end of 2012. And Rogue has earned the Best Financial Institution Award from the Curry Coastal Pilot for 3 years. In a row. There has not been a time that the award was available that we've been serving that market, because I just heard from a little birdie that it will now be 4 years in a row that Rogue has been recognized as the outstanding financial institution. And Kelsey's in the back waving the red flags at me, so she knows I can't keep quiet about stuff like that. Additionally, Rogue was recognized as the 4th best large employer to work for in Oregon. That's against some of the best and biggest in Oregon, and your credit union was able to stand tall with the rest of that. And that is a survey that is done anonymously with employees, so it's not anything we even touch. It's what our employees think about the credit union. These awards and recognition are the result of our staff's dedication to commitment to serving you, our loyal members. Rogue Credit Unions, and I saw this number, and it's kind of surprising to me. They don't look this old. Rogue Credit Union is fortunate to have a highly skilled leadership team that are not only experts in their field, with over 150 years of combined experience. Can you believe that, Chad? 150 years. So you don't look that old, do you? You do feel that old. So each of them are fiercely committed to the values that we hold dear at the credit union. Each of these talented leaders are good people. They do the right thing for our members each and every day. So the strategic vision of our board of directors is simple. We'll focus on taking care of our members, taking care of our staff, and remaining financially sound. Doesn't sound too complicated, but very difficult to do. But the board, through the board's leadership, we've been able to be one of the best at doing that. With the outstanding skills and quality of our leadership team, we continue to ensure the foundations of your credit union's financial strength and success. In just a few minutes, Philip Smith will share the treasurer's report and more details on Rogue's performance this year. But sorry, I have to let a few things out of the bag beforehand. Rogue Credit Union finished 2016 with the highest membership growth in 30 years. And we didn't go back farther because it was hard to get those records. So 30 years. And guess what? We've not had one membership campaign during that time in the recent years. It's all because of you. You're telling members. We have referral rates of over 90% of all new members join because another member said, please join the credit union. So our members continue, let's see, while this growth is incredible, I want to continue to assure you, and this is the important part, and Frank's in the back there. Frank made sure that I stayed true to this, is that growth is not a strategy for the credit union. We're committed to taking care of our members and doing what's right for our members. We know that in this new economy, we've got to be big enough to matter. Regulations and all the things that go with it out there, competition, we have to be big enough to matter, but we'll thrive, we'll win by remaining small enough to care. Your board of directors and leadership team firmly believes that if we focus on taking care of our members first, everything else will take care of itself. Your continued loyalty to Rogue is what makes success possible. Thank you for your loyal membership. At this time, I'd like to welcome the chair of our Board Development Committee, which also serves as our nominating committee and treasurer. We get a lot out of this guy. Philip Smith, to share the nominating committee's report and the treasurer's report. Philip is the chief financial officer for PMCI Inc. and was previously an accounting professor at Southern Oregon University, and he worked as a CPA and senior accountant with Deloitte & Touche. We're fortunate to have Philip's expertise on our board of directors. He's a great example of the type of board leaders we will need as your credit union works to thrive in this ever-changing economic environment. Philip, it's all yours.
Thanks, Gene. As Gene mentioned, I'm Philip Smith. In my role as the Board Development Committee Chair, I also serve as the Chair of the Nominating Committee and Board Treasurer at Rogue Credit Union. I've served on the board of Rogue for the past 6 years. As there are 2 nominees for the 2 open positions at Rogue Credit Union Board of Directors, the Nominating Committee has determined that the 2 incumbents, Liz Shelby and Cheryl McMahon, are more qualified to fill the most qualified to fill these 2 open positions. Please reference their biographies in the annual report to see a brief summary of their stellar qualifications. There were no nominations through petition by February 3rd, 2017, as your nominating committee has verified and was posted and provided to the members in accordance with the bylaws. The nominating committee presents an uncontested slate of candidates for the 2 open board positions and recommends an election by acclamation. Thank you. Jerry?
As per the nominating committee recommendation, I recommend that by acclamation, Liz and Cheryl be reappointed to the Board of Directors of Rogue Credit Union.
I'm no longer the nominating committee. Now I'm the treasurer. And I'm going to give you my treasurer's report, which is kind of, since I'm a CPA, I'm now this year I went inactive, but I have been a CPA for the last 15 years of my life. And, but I haven't practiced in a long time. But treasurer report's kind of my comfort zone. 2016 was a tremendous year and very successful for your credit union. I'm pleased to share once again that Rogue Credit Union remains sound and stable after wrapping up 2016 and moving into 2017. In addition to the highest membership growth that Gene mentioned, Rogue Credit Union experienced its highest asset growth in 30 years. Members love us. That's why we're going to the branch meeting later. Ending the year at over $1,275 million in assets, which is an amazing number to consider where we started. Rogue saw 19.62%. That's almost 20% growth in 1 year. In 2016 compared to 7.78% asset growth for credit unions nationwide. That means we grew over $200 million this year alone, which is amazing. Rogue Credit Union continues to be a top choice for consumer lending. Your credit union saw solid loan growth and demand throughout the region it serves in 2016. Rogue funded over 12,500 consumer loans, auto loans. Rogue's total loan portfolio increased by $15.7 million to end at over $965 million in loans. In comparison, the national average for credit union loan growth in 2016 was 10.79%, which is pretty amazing for our region that we have almost $1 billion of loans in the territory that we serve. Which is, when I started with the credit union, we were at something like just under $400 million in total assets. So it's crazy to think that number in the short term that I've been here. Road Credit Union's net income in 2016 was over 19 million compared to 15.7 in 2015, an increase of 21%. Rogue also experienced significant deposit growth of nearly 190 million or 20.1%, far outpacing our growth in 2015. Rogue continues to be a solid, trusted financial institution across Southern Oregon. Your credit union ended the year with a strong 9.58% net worth, well above the 7.7% required by the National Credit Union Administration. The tremendous financial success of Rogue Credit Union is a reflection of the robust support from the communities we serve. As we move into 2017, you, the member, can feel confident that Rogue Credit Union is financially safe, sound, and operating with focus on serving our members' financial needs. Thank you. Jerry or Gene?
What's interesting about those numbers is we set our goals to actually decrease growth this last year. But Bank of America sold to Bank of the Cascades. Other folks had their issues and so on. And as folks were looking for a friendly, local, trusted place to do their business, they came to Rogue Credit Union. So I just want to make sure every member knows that we're not actually out there trying to grow this fast. And as some of you know, we're not paying rates that should be growing that fast. But that's what's happening right now, is that as people safety is more important than earnings for so many people in this community right now, and they're coming and visiting us. So what I'd like to do now is welcome Jeff Lever to the stage. But before I do, I've got a few things to say about Jeff. I'd like to share with you, first of all, what the Supervisory Committee does for the Credit Union. The Supervisory Committee is charged with ensuring that all financial reporting objectives have been met, and the Credit Union's practices and procedures provide the utmost safety and security of our members' assets, even when you're growing at 20%. Following audits and examinations from our state and federal regulators, we get both now, the Supervisory Committee reviews the examination and audit findings, presents the final audit report to the Board of Directors, and follows up to ensure that management takes the necessary corrective action if needed. Jeff has been faithfully serving your credit union on the Supervisory Committee for nearly 30 years. Look at, yeah, he hasn't changed either, right? Actually, he served so many years that we can't find exactly how many he served. We tried to find through the minutes and couldn't actually figure that out. So after these many years of dedicated service, Jeff is stepping down from the Supervisory Committee. Something about a gun and a wide open range or something like that. Jeff being an avid hunter, I'm sure that's hunting and fishing he'll be doing a lot more of. This is his last Supervisory Committee report. And for those of us that know Jeff really well, we really know how much he enjoys giving these reports. So we want to honor the dedication and integrity that he's brought to us in this role. So Jeff, would you please come up here? Jeff has served the members and seen more years of growth than anyone else currently serving as an official of the credit union. The only people in this room that can challenge Jeff for years of dedicated service are Vern and Tim. Jeff is in great company with these dedicated credit union servants. He's led the Supervisory Committee as chair for as long as I can remember, and has faithfully served the credit union and each of you, always looking to do what's best for Rogue Credit Union. It is an honor to have worked with Jeff during my tenure at Rogue, and his tireless commitment to the members will be sorely missed. Please help me recognize Jeff for all that he's done to ensure that Rogue is safe, sound, and member focused. Please. So we've got a few things here we want to recognize you with. We've got you a little something that you can remember us by. Got that for you, a little card, and then something from Field and Stream that I think that you might be able to use in one way or another. So this is for you, and The stage is yours. Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks so much, Gene. It's been my honor and privilege to serve as the chair of the Supervisory Committee at Rogue Credit Union. Rogue Supervisory Committee is appointed by the Rogue's Board of Directors to act as your representatives in ensuring the safety and soundness of your credit union. Throughout 2016, the Supervisory Committee is proud to report that Rogue Credit Union met the needs of our community while maintaining a well-capitalized net worth ratio and meeting the regulatory guidelines set forth by the regulators. Your Supervisory Committee is responsible for ensuring the safety and soundness of your credit union. In June, the State of Oregon Department of Finance and Corporate Securities and the National Credit Union Administration, NCUA, reported back to the credit union any findings, and they were subsequently reviewed by your credit union, by your Supervisory Committee. We also conducted an independent audit with the CPA firm of Moss Adams in August. Your Supervisory Committee, as well as the Board of Directors, is in agreement with the exam findings. Your credit union is meeting the needs of its members and continues to keep us in conformance with applicable rules and regulations, providing a safe and sound local option for your financial needs. In 2017, we will continue to work with the state regulators and the NCUA to continue supervising the safety and soundness of your credit union. Rest assured that your credit union is safe, stable, and secure. Thank you for your continued loyalty and participation in the credit union. I'd like to now welcome back to stage Chair Jerry. Thank you. Yeah.
It was nice to know that when I shook his hand, it wasn't sweaty. No, this is Jeff's favorite thing, was to always give this annual report. But it has been a pleasure in all my years to be on the board to have worked with Jeff and the Supervisory Committee. And I think on our board, the only person that's been longer is Chief George. And he's been the Supervisory Committee as long as you were there, correct? Yeah, at least, yeah. Of course, he's only 12 years old when he came on the board. So you know how that goes. But I have had the privilege of serving as the chairman of the board going on 9 years right now. And I'm honored to serve this year because this is a very special year. It's 60 years. I mean, we keep saying that, but 60 years we've been serving Southern Oregon. The Southern Oregon area now includes Klamath Falls, the Rogue Valley, Roseburg, and the Southern Oregon coast. So we've really grown, but we've grown together. And as Gene said, you know, we are not too big because we're still small enough to care. And that's what our key is. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you and the members. Your loyalty and your trust in the foundation and what we've been doing has been wonderful. And we hope that your commitment will stay there to keep us going for another 60 years. Now, I may not be around to see that 60 years from now, but somebody will be. And we want it to be people coming from here. Your board of directors is charged with ensuring the continued strength and stability of your local credit union, a task that we do not take lightly. As financial services industry has drastically evolved over the last years, so is the role of our board of directors. Today, your board of directors is responsible for the oversight of complexities that come with $1 billion organization. Think of that, $1 billion from $500 in Jefferson Elementary School in 60 years. That's a tremendous amount of responsibility. Also includes increased regulatory requirements. We have to have information security, and probably the most important thing is caring for our members. And there's many other things, but our number one topic is taking care of our members. Our board of directors, we're confident that with the strong financial knowledge that we have and a diverse skill set in each one of our members of the board, Philip is a CPA, has been. We have Mark Collins, who's not here tonight, a CPA, former school administrator, chief of police, you know, a doctorate program director, a former chief of staff at Southern Oregon University, and an old high school coach and teacher. You know, but we're a variety, and we do care about what we do. Our commitment and the oversight demands that the regulations put on us are unparalleled. With the introduction of board compensation, we are thrilled to see a considerable increase in the interest in serving on Rogue's board of directors. But you know what? It's really amazing. We held in February, we held an information meeting letting out the requirements of what you require, what is necessary to be a board member, what the expectations are. And it's not just an hour. When we look back at our policies, it said to serve on the board, you had to commit 1.5 hours a month. That takes longer than that to go through our board packet and study for it now. On the average, we have anywhere from 20 to 45, 50 hours a month spent by board members on credit union business right now. So it's a big responsibility that we have there. But if you're interested in serving on the board and knowing what your responsibilities are, Peggy Blair, Peggy, would you raise your hand back there? If you're interested in serving on the board or applying for the board position, see her, and she has the information that you need to have in the candidate packet. We've not wavered, even with this, we have not wavered in our commitment to the credit union because we want to provide exceptional service to our community. And that's why, as Gene said, 90+% of our new members are recommended by other people. That's a tremendous credit to how our people are treated by our staff and by the board and by the whole leadership team and everything else. I'm proud of our success. And as we celebrate, our 60th anniversary, we want to continue to serve with the same policy, the same theory that those 10 people did at Jefferson Elementary 60 years ago. At this time, as I realize that we have no more old business, we have no more new business, I hereby end Rogue Credit Union meeting, and we will turn it back once more to our CEO. I'm going to be nice. I was going to say something, but I decided not to. Gene Pelham.
Sir talks a lot. Is that what you were going to say? I know the red flag's already up. So we'll just wrap things up here. Actually, we're not too bad on time, so I don't have to worry about Kelsey coming up here and smacking me. So we are forever indebted to the 10 educators who gathered together to form a credit union 60 years ago. Their vision and dedication set in motion something truly incredible. I don't know that they ever imagined that their efforts would turn into a $1 billion organization with 110,000 members across Southern Oregon. Heck, I'm not sure I ever imagined, and I've only been here 13 years, that this would be a $1 billion organization. As we wrap up this annual meeting, I want to reaffirm our commitment to each and every one of you, our loyal member owners. While we may not fit in the Johnston's garage any longer, rest assured that we hold the same dedication to serving you that started it all. Your credit union is here to serve you with a focus on people helping people, which has been a foundation of credit unions for years. We know that together we are making great things happen for Southern Oregon. Today, our communities need strong, stable, local financial institutions that work with the members' best interests in mind, not the bottom line in mind. Every day, the decisions your board of directors and leadership team makes are focused on what's best for our members, and that's what a credit union is all about. At this time, we invite you to carpool with us to Ashland as we go to the next stage of meetings this evening and work to convince the Ashland City Council that Ashland does need a second Rogue Credit Union branch with a drive-up and parking for those of you that have done business there. That will be at 1175 East Main Street in Ashland. And if you haven't been to a city council meeting recently, they are incredible political theater. So, and you don't have to pay a price of admission. And you really never know how the plot line is going to end either. So please come join us for a free night out, enjoying opinions and thoughts and ideas from everybody. I see some of you shaking your head. You've been to a city council meeting recently. So for those of you who like to stay and really you're tired of listening to me and you really want to get to the prize drawings, we will be doing a raffle for some really great gift baskets. I think though we should take the Keurig upstairs because ours is broken. So we could maybe fix that and solve that, Peggy. Well, how did you let that happen? Because it's been broken upstairs. So our leadership team and board members will stay and be available to ask any questions. And once again, raise your hand. So Philip, you raise your hand too. Yeah. Philip will raise his hand. They'll be here to answer all your questions, and either from the information I share with you or Peggy can connect you with me if you have specific questions for me. And it would be fun to text during the city council meeting. So thank you for attending tonight's annual meeting of the members and your continued loyalty and dedication to your credit union. Have a great evening. And Jeannie's going to come up and give stuff away. And we apologize, but we're going to move out. Okay. So have a great evening.
All right. So get out those tickets. Tickets. Our first drawing, we have Krista, who's acting as Vanna this evening. We have a Harry and David basket with all the goodies one would need to make a delectable Italian feast. It includes everything from gourmet olive oil, ceramic dipping bowls, sun-dried tomato flatbread mix, angel hair pasta, and appetizers. The feast arrives with a plaid kitchen towel and a beautiful reusable wooden carton. All right, so the first lucky winner is it okay if I draw the number? Okay. Is 845463. 463. Ah, there we go, right there. Perfect. All right. So our second one is for those that have been enjoying the sunshine and working on getting their green thumb going. It's a gardening basket. So be prepared with spring with this great gardening basket full of tools, gadgets, and more that will help you maintain your garden this season. That's a cool looking basket. All right. And that number is going to be, last three are 478. There we go, right there. Yeah. All right, and the next one is our Keurig basket. We better get this one gone before Jean takes it upstairs. Enjoy an individual cup of coffee with this Keurig coffee maker. It includes, in this basket is a variety of beverage pods and Rogue coffee mugs and some truffles to go along with your coffee. And that number, I'll mix these up. Go off the bottom. Is 456. Barely missed it, Marty. All right, we got our winner in the back there. And our last one is Lithia Springs Resort Overnight Package. Yeah. Enjoy one night stay in a spa bungalow. That sounds nice. With breakfast and all the resort amenities included. It also included in this basket are Harry and David goodies to enjoy during your overnight getaway. All right, last one is 461. There we go. I'd like to say thank you again for joining us this evening and your ongoing support of your credit union. And as Jean mentioned, several of us will be available after to answer any questions that you may have. Just find somebody with a Rogue logo shirt and they can point you in the direction of a Rogue leadership team member. Thank you.